great to talk to people who really aren't aware of what we actually do. Long story short, I was a certified history high school teacher when I graduated from Salem State University, but I was on the board of the North Suffolk Mental Health Association in Chelsea at the time. And that board taught me a lot of how individuals with disabilities were shunned by society and treated. And I visited Joanne's old stomping ground before it closed: Fernald, Rentham, Devon, Gabler, Belchertown. You know, before the 1960s, folks with disabilities were not even allowed to be integrated into society. And my experience at North Suffolk Mental Health caused me to rethink my professional path. And I eventually joined North Suffolk as a staff member. And you all know sort of the rest of the story. I was at the May Institute for 5 years, and believe it or not, I stopped my 23rd year at Work Inc. on November 5th. And I can't figure that out because I'm only 39 years old.
So you work at Jeff Keelson back then?
Oh, yeah. Jeff Keelson, Assistant Commissioner, Jerry Morrissey, Commissioner.
Yeah, right.
Joanne and I go back, way back in those days. So.
And Joanne, what about you?
So my career path was, like similar to what's happened to a lot of other people. It was sort of an accident. I graduated from college. I got a master's degree in social work, and my first child was born with Down syndrome and 4 heart defects. And the world that I envisioned for him didn't exist. But I knew enough about human services and the way the world worked, having been a policy major in social work school, that the only way that I was going to make Jonathan's life the one that I envisioned, one where he would be included and welcomed, was to make it a priority for everybody, because we rise together. It wasn't going to make any sense if I could create a meaningful life for Jonathan if nobody else had a meaningful life. So I began my career at what was then the North Shore ARC, actually with a small, my first job after Jonathan was born was then the Department of Mental Health, which included the Intellectual Disabilities Division, and then clearly saw that the real exciting, innovative work was happening in the.
I'm really sort of, values and principles driven person. Like I remember my mom telling me, I think it was right before I started college or maybe after my first year of college, he pulled my brother and I aside and said, you both seem like pretty smart kids. I'm sure you could do something productive, but make sure you do something where you use your heart as much as your brain and make an impact, do something good. And it really stuck with both my brother and I. My brother's now a Superior Court judge here in Massachusetts. And I always like this notion of being able to enjoy personal success, commercial success, while helping people and helping society.
Yeah, I think giving women opportunity is really important. I'm a big advocate around making sure that that companies have diverse slates, when they're hiring, so that you have the opportunity. You still hire the best candidate, but you make sure that you're bringing in people that have different type of backgrounds and exposure and profiles than you do. I think that makes you stronger as a leader to have that diversity. I'm also a big proponent, as the people here at WEX and our board of directors, around equal pay. Something that we're proud of is that we have been providing equal pay, for quite some time. We talked about it last year in our ESG report, because I think that also draws in talent, because they know that they're going to be treated equally, which is really important. But I think it starts early, is having women giving opportunities, and women, frankly, raising their hand and accepting those opportunities is really important along the way. One of the things that was really instrumental in my career was the idea that I whenever I was given an opportunity, I said yes to that. And some of them were lateral or, solving problems that weren't the most glamorous things in the organization, but it gave me an opportunity to show what I was capable of in different settings, and particularly because I came up in a technical, setting with a technical background. It allowed, people to see me in an environment where I wasn't just providing a technical capability,